believe that they deserve a home and somewhere to go. But the thing is, a lot of these people down here don't actually have nowhere to really go.
It's been home for the homeless for years, and the question is, now that Tent City's closing, what's next? John Seibert is president and COO of CitySquare Group, answering that question and addressing poverty in the city of Dallas. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. Tent City, for those that don't know, it's under I-45. It started with about a dozen people living there, and it has mushroomed to about, I think, 300 at the height, they said. There's been some violence in the area, so the city decided to shut it down, and they've basically been going through and clearing all of those people out. 300 people, though. That's a lot of people to find places for. And is it true that, frankly, some people, they don't want to go to shelters? There was a reason they weren't in a shelter in the first place, so just sending them to a shelter isn't always the answer.
Sure. Shelters are very crowded. They have a number of rules and regulations in order to keep order. And so people don't have a sense of independence. Some want to be able to, we all want to be able to have a place to call home in our own place. And so some people would prefer to be on the streets and have their own place.
Well, a tent. I mean, at least it's yours.
Yes.
You've got your belonging inside it. And I know in the tent city, I mean, there were some areas of that tent city where, I mean, they even had like a little convenience store set up. I mean, it was a community, but yet they had their own space. And going to a shelter, like you mentioned, you don't always get that.
Right. And shelters are an important part of the process to help people stabilize. But there's just so many people needing shelter that some folks prefer an environment where there aren't as many people.
So what is the answer here? I mean, 300 people to find a place for them, because a lot of people are saying, well, you're closing Tent City. Well, they're just going to go somewhere else. They're just going to find another tent city.
Sure. The answer is more affordable housing. You know, storms blew through North Texas last night, and homeless people have experienced storms that the rest of us don't see.
Right.
And so if we rallied around them with the kind of emergency response we give folks when a tornado hits their house, and actually stabilize them and help them find a new future and new housing. If we rallied together as a community, created more affordable housing, we could put a big dent in the homeless problem. Now,
there is some affordable housing being built in the city. You guys just can't build it quick enough.
That's right. That's right.
So what's being done?
We're building 50 cottages at CitySquare in a partnership that hopes to house 50 of the highest utilizers of county services. So we have a list of about 250 to 300 people that are frequent flyers in the county jail, Parkland Hospital, mental hospital.
So these are people eating up funds, and basically you're hoping by putting them in by giving them this place to live, that you're going to be able to cut down on the fees, on the money that you spend on them at the county.
Taxpayers can spend $40,000 per person to have them sleep on the stoop in front of a business downtown, or pay $15,000 a year per person for them to live in our cottages with mental health services on site and supportive services provided.
All right, but you think more needs to be built, obviously. 50 obviously isn't going to help this huge issue.
We'd like to see about 2,500.
All right, wow, that's a big number. All right, you can find a link to CitySquare on our website, fox4news.com. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate the work you're doing as well.